have to know for sure or absolutely believe that there is an abduction. The second thing they have to do, they have to have some type of description or known entity of who did the abduction. So let's say it's a parent that took a kid over across the border or something like that. So they kind of know, who did it, and they got a good description of who probably did it. And the third criteria is some type of information about the vehicle, like the license plate number, make and model of the car. That's why when you're driving down the freeway, folks, and you see the marquee, it has a license plate number, make and model, color, size, occupants, everything like that in the car, because that is the criteria that it takes to have garnish a Amber Alert. So it's the same thing here with this situation with Gabby Petito. There is an Amber Alert because you have all this information. So that is first and foremost at the top of the list of why it is getting so much attention. It's not so much that she's white. It could be if this was a black girl and a black guy, right? The situation is with the perpetrator. It's with the perpetrator because the media is protective these days of black males. They are protective because they don't want to seem like they're racist, right? So they kind of cover up and kind of withhold information. Now, there are a lot of people who believe the other way around. That's how it may have been back in the 50s and the 60s like that, but not in 2021. It doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people will tell you that they think that black people will be exposed by the media, but they don't understand that the media are on their side. That is not what's garnering the attention and the ratings. We all know that black people are 13% of the population and black males are 6% of the population, but some kind of way they're committing 52% of the violent crimes in this country. Now you do the math, but you never hear that on CNN or MSNBC, haha, or anything like that. So all you hear is that when a white person is doing the perpetrating, because that is the stigma, that is what they are trying to portray out there and trying to highlight and illuminate into their narrative. So the fact that Brian Laundrie is a white male, it fits it perfectly. This girl was a nice looking white girl that plays in it too. They were on Instagram, they were on YouTube. All that is playing a part. So this is why it's gotten so much attention, okay? Because if you think about it, all the killing that goes on in Chicago and Detroit and St. Louis and Atlanta and Miami and LA and all those places, Milwaukee, that would be, there wouldn't be enough news spots for that because it happens all the time. And it gives you the impression that it doesn't. They wouldn't have time for any other news if they broadcast that kind of stuff that happened. So they tried, it's not garnishing enough ratings, so they do not push that to the forefront. But soon as a white person does something, it can be to another white person, it has to be a white male, then that's the big bad wolf. Just like George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. George Zimmerman is still a white man today, even though he's Hispanic or Mexican, whatever. But to the media and the perception that they put out there is that he was a white man, okay? And that is, like I said, what they want to portray. So that is what garnishes the attention from the media, because as soon as they find out, as soon if it's learned that he didn't do this, let's say that Brian Laundrie is cleared. Let's say, maybe he has a moral obligation that he left her in Wyoming or whatever. But let's say he did not commit this crime and killed this poor young woman. If once the media finds out that Brian Laundrie is innocent, this story will go away until or unless they find the killer or killers and they happen to be a white person. If that person who killed her was black, then you would not hear about this, only locally. This will go away on cable news, all over the United States. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this situation. So it's not so much about the victim or the perceived victim. It is about the perpetrator. This is why, and I really don't want to get into this, but I'm just trying to bring up situations and information that that's going to supplement what I'm trying to convey to you. They're still talking about the January 6th insurrection, what they call it, right? But yet and still, every doggone 5 minutes in this country, people are getting shot and killed in every major city. And not like this has not been going on, but it's been rampant the last 2, 3, 4 years, okay? It is just out of control all over. But you want to talk about the January 6th situation because it's perceived that there were white conservatives who were Trump supporters that orchestrated this and caused this big ruckus, right? So every time they talk about this to try to make it seem, because this is going to garner like, oh, okay, here comes the big bad wolf again. He's hiding, but here he comes again. So everybody, this is what America was built on. It's systemic. It's all these buzzwords and everything like that, because it's all about when this country was what it was back in the day, and now it is about the media garnishing ratings, because the way you get ratings is not highlighting what's going on in black communities around the United States, but what white men are doing to other people, even if it's to other white people. Remember back about 5 years ago in Houston, Texas, where this young black mother was taking her 3 young kids to church. It was early in the morning, like about 7, 8 in the morning, and they stopped by McDonald's on the way to church. And in the parking lot, this supposedly red pickup truck, Texas red pickup truck, that rolled up and fired into the vehicle, killing one of her little girls. She was like 6 or 7 years old. So the description of the perpetrator was a red pickup truck driven by a 50-plus-year-old white man. So typical, right? So remember, it got all the attention on CNN, it got all the attention on MSNBC, it got all the attention on The View, not that I watch The View, but all the attention of all these media liberal outlets who are trying to push that narrative. Shaquille O'Neal jumped in and paid for the little girl's funeral, which is absolutely great, absolutely noble of him. But he did it, and when he came forward to do it, there was all this support, because it was almost saying like, this guy did it. He was a suspect. It was a white guy, and they put a picture up of this particular guy, and people started looking for him. There were even some celebrities who put his license plate number or his address. They found him on some type of Google search, and then it was like this big story for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, when they found out that 2 black guys who the mother actually knew, and then there were kind of like rumors that they were in some type of drug deal together or some drug dealings, right? And they found out that the 2 guys were black, and they arrested them and put them in jail. The story went away. It went away like a bad habit, because, like, I'm trying to tie this together, it is not about the person, it is about the perpetrator. And when the perpetrator is a white male, all hell breaks loose. That's how it goes. So, like I said, this is what's going on. This case is not closed. This particular case about Gabby Petito, they're going to probably have some more definite news. Is the body actually hers? Which it probably is. And now what's going on with Brian Laundrie is that he's missing. Police, as I made this particular episode, or FBI have raided their home in Florida. They took the parents out, put them in a nearby vehicle so they can go through and search the house and see what they can find. Meanwhile, Brian is according to the parents, is missing. They haven't heard from him in a few days. So like I said, there's speculation he's out of the country or whatever. Now, it is strange. Like I said, it is strange to why he's gone. But I'm not here to, to try to, to figure out if he did it or if he didn't. I'm just here to try to let you know why this story is getting so much attention. Now, before I close, I'm going to just end it. I'm going to tag it with this. One, they were on social media. They were documenting, broadcasting their trip on YouTube and Instagram. So the whole country who were in this particular space knew what they were doing. So she was kind of like a celebrity. Two, the perpetrator or the suspected perpetrator is white. Three, they have description of the vehicle, which is back in Florida now. They had everything going. They had even video of the guy. So they have all this information right at their fingertips. So this is why this crime story is like really a big thing. And let's put in the fact, ladies and gentlemen, that one of the most popular podcasts out there, hopefully mine can get to that particular level, is crime podcast. Crime, disappearance, murder crimes, serial killers, who done it, why'd you do it. These are some of the most fascinating, growing fascinations to the human being now that you can get them at your beckoning call through a podcast. You don't have to wait for Dateline or 48 Hours or the first 48 to come on. True crime is a fascinating subject for a lot of individuals. So put that all together and you got this story about Gabby Petito. So like I said, there's more to come to this. I don't know if I'm going to tag this particular episode with a follow-up, but I probably will, to let you know that it's going to go two ways. If Brian Laundrie is found guilty or that all the evidence is pointing in his direction, this story is going to grow giraffe legs. It already has dog legs right now. It's going to grow elephant and giraffe legs coming up. If he's not, it's going to go away a little bit until they find out, or if they find out who did it. If it's one of those kind of like mountain guys or some kind of random person who picked her up or something like that, he might be a transient, homeless himself. It's not going to probably matter. It's not going to probably matter if he's white, black, or anything like that. If he's not significant, not of social prominence or anything like that, not going to happen. Going back to the story, remember the story with way back years ago with Gary Condit and Chandra Levy? Remember that? The reason it was a big deal, it was because of Gary Condit, right? He was the social, the politician in Northern California, and he was the most prominent, and he had all this going for him. So the fascination was not the fact that it was Chandra Levy, ladies and gentlemen. The fascination, it was that Gary Condit was the possible perpetrator, and it turned out that they did not find any evidence to link him to her unfortunate death. So, having said all that, I am going to end this episode of the Fabulous Form Factor. I want to thank you for listening. And like I said, I'm up on the fence of, do I want to come back with a follow-up story to this or not? I will let you know. Thank you once again for listening. Thank you for all of your support. See you again on another episode of the Fabulous Forum Factor. You all take care. Bye.
Were you entertained? Were you informed? If the answer is yes to both, please tune in again next time to the Fabulous Forum Factor and all its facts with Mr. Kenneth Moultrie.